Eskimos again from their 50. Early second half. 6 receivers set. Here's the rush. Ray in trouble. Avoids it. Got out of trouble and then had to throw it away. But Ricky Ray very fortunate. He was not sacked on that play.
Well, I'm not sure how Ricky Ray escaped there. He seemed like he was surrounded. Somehow squeaked out. Again, the veteran throwaway here. Never mind the stats trying to get the completion. Just get rid of the football. Charleston Hughes unable to wrap up. All he had was cloth. Ray spins away in that one. He's just thrown to the turf.
Only 4 incompletions for Ricky Ray. Messam behind some blocking. As much as we talk about Messam and John Cornish today, enough can't be said about those guys up front that provide the run blocking. Those O-linemen, both sides doing a tremendous job today opening holes.
Well, and you talk about the play of the O-lineman. Watch this block by the left tackle, Devin Tyler on the play. We've seen Demetris Morley blitzing a lot, giving them problems with speed. Well, here, he just gets stoned. Devin Tyler gets a little payback on the little guy who gave him a few fits earlier in the ballgame.
Some of the signage at the far side of the field started to blow. Put it back. Wind starting to pick up here. Talked about the gusts. And again, the Edmonton Eskimos will have the wind in that fourth quarter. Calgary Stampeders getting it now. It's really starting to blow now. Commonwealth Stadium, it was built, created, in a bowl beneath the ground, so the wind doesn't affect it that much down low. But once it gets up like that, that's what the ball can do. Taylor gives up another single. Make the score 26-12. Henry Burris and the Stampeder offense back when we come back.
It's in this ball game. Darius Bowman, sometimes overshadowed by other Eskimos on that offense, but he's come up with some big plays today. John Cornish, a bright spot for the Stampeders, their most dangerous weapon.
Forget about Damaso Munoz. There's Cornish getting some blocking help here. Weldon Brown, the tackle. Calgary Stampeders again off to a good start, had the early lead, but the difference really has been the pass catching and the throwing of Ricky Ray as opposed to what Drew Tate could not do in that first half.
Yeah, the Edmonton Eskimos spreading the ball around, everybody involved and everybody productive. But you look at the Stampeders, Kenyon Rambo, a guy who had a season high for them last time these two teams met. 7 catches in that ball game, 121 yards, has yet to record a reception today.
Always a favorite threat though of Henry Burris. Gives it back to Cornish, who is stopped right there. This will depend on the spot. First down marker was at the 45-yard line. See where they mark this. Looks like it's going to be a bit shy of that first down marker.
Well, it's in that territory where around midfield, you think about gambling a little bit, and certainly given the situation in this ball game, looking at the scoreboard, John Huffnagel makes a quick decision to go for it.
Henry Burris, who has been used to this stuff lately. He's been the short yardage guy, but now he is the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy who's been getting the reps in short yardage the last few weeks, so he's got to stay and run.
Forward he goes. I don't know. See where the spot is. It looks like it's a favorable spot, and then he will get the first down. The progression of Henry Burris, even though it looks like he was stood up there by the Eskimo front. And a fresh set of downs for John Huffnagel's Stampeders.
Important for the Stampeders to keep this drive going. Sure, in John Huffnagel's mind, yeah, there's lots of time left in the ball game, but they got to get some momentum going somewhere, and going 2 and punt isn't the way to get it done.
Hurry up offense here. Two teams riding momentum heading into the postseason. Had mid-season swoons. Stamps won 3 in a row. Eskimos 4 or 5. Time for Burris over the top and knocked down, cut down by TJ Hill is Romby Bryant.
Kenyon Rambo comes up limping after that one. Nick Lewis already banged up. It's the last thing the Calgary Stampeders receiving core can afford. Quick crossing route from the bottom of your screen, working towards the top. Again, TJ Hill. Saw him stare down Drew Tate for an interception in the first half there. Once again, seemed to have a real sense of where that ball was going.
2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. Burris sends out his receivers. The rush is on. Henry Burris is sacked. Etienne Legaré got to the veteran quarterback.
Etienne Legaré lines up on the nose here. Real breakout year for the number 2 overall pick in the 09 draft. Marcus Howard at the end of this one. We saw him give the shoulder to John Cornish earlier. That time he sticks it into the chest of Nick Lewis.
I don't know about you. I would not want to get a shoulder from Marcus Howard or anything else. First sack for the Eskimos. Burke Dale's towering kick. Jason Armstead finally tracks it down and is brought down at the 30. 42-yard kick. 14-point lead. Over 6 to go in the third quarter in Edmonton. Saturday, November 26th, Grey Cup weekend kicks off. TSN gets you ready for the big game. An entire day of Grey Cup features, behind-the-scenes coverage, beginning at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Then join us Sunday for the big game, the 99th Grey Cup. Pre-game coverage begins at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, with coverage of the game beginning at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. TSN, home of the Grey Cup. Two teams going to continue down the path towards the Grey Cup. Winner goes to Vancouver next week to take on the Lions in the West Final. Ricky Ray out of traffic, but could not find Andrew Nowacki.
Ricky Ray, again, lots of time to throw there. Pushed out of the pocket a little bit, but not hurried on his throw, just a little wide. Led Andrew Nowacki by too much on that play.
Both offenses really stalling here at this stage of the game.
And I'm not sure that the Calgary offense has ever really gotten going in this football game. Edmonton's come up with a couple of big plays. The biggest one remains the fumble return for a touchdown by Munoz.
Deep drop for Ray. Now going to the sideline. And Jason Barnes brings it in, but there's a penalty flag as well in the backfield and also at the 30-yard line. 2 flags as Ray delivered the football. Let's see what it is from referee Murray Clark. Good catch on the far sideline by Jason Barnes.
These 2 flags came up late in the backfield, far from the football.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Edmonton number 54. He applied at the end of the play, 15 yards, 3rd down.
Chris Patrick, the right tackle for the Edmonton Eskimos at the end of this football play. You see him here blocking. Once Eric Fraser is down, finishes him with a forearm smash to the back of the head. That's illegal, Rod.
That looked like UFC stuff. Highly illegal, and so the Eskimos bring out Damon Duvall. Once again, Larry Taylor is back, and a big return early in this ball game. He's been silenced by the excellent special team coverage of the Eskimos since then. Downfield again. And the Stampeders will start on the Eskimo side of the field. There's 5.5 to go in the third. Before the ball game, the 13th man flag of the Eskimos was raised by the members of the Grand Prairie Composite High School football team, struck by tragedy, of course, over the last few weeks. Lost 4 teammates in a car crash. The team was put up by the Eskimos this weekend. They played yesterday and lost in the final, provincial final. Coach Rick Gibson and the Grand Prairie Warriors in the house today, and really classy gestures by the Eskimos to have them at practice the other day. Kavis Reed, of course, presented the game ball last week. Such a tough time for that school and that community. A little healing going on today. Raise that 13th man flag. Eskimos crowd rising up here. John Cornish wasn't quite sure what to do there. He's thinking even, I think, about lateraling that football back. Tells you a lot about John Cornish. Most backs would have been stopped for a loss there. He still picked up 4 yards.
Well, yeah, remarkable the way things were stacked up in the line of scrimmage that John Cornish actually managed to pick up close to 5 yards on that play.
99 yards in the game for John Cornish.
Our offensive coordinator Dave Dickinson needs to get the rest of that crew to be as productive as its running back.
2nd down and 6. Burris has time now. Now the pocket collapses and he's going to have to go for it. And spinning it, Henry Burris. Big gain there from the big game player.
No quit on this play. Again, it's the awareness of Henry Burris. He knows he's short of 1st down yardage. He's got a feel for how far he's got to go here. So there's no consideration of the slide. The spin move, dodges Marcus Howard, picks him up the 1st down.
1st down. Just outside the Eskimo 35-yard line. Calgary. No success running the football today, but not in the air. Burris again. This time heaves it to the end zone for Bryant. Too far. Little collision course in the back of the end zone. There was a penalty flag back at the 47-yard line. Likely a holding call. That's what afforded Burris that little extra time.
I expect this will go against John Gott, working against Ted Laurent in the pit.
Holding. Calgary number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
And there is one thing that John Huftegel knows about as we take a look at this penalty.
Right in the middle of that defense. Ted Laurent is a load. Low center of gravity. He's about 6'1", over 3 bills. He just does a rip move, uses that low center of gravity to drive through John Gott. Henry Burris takes a shot from Etienne Legaré on the play.
That's one thing Henry Burris will do, and nothing against Drew Tate's arm. Pretty good. But no one in the league has an arm like Henry Burris. And they're going to have to start stretching this Eskimo defense. 1st and 20. Movement. Marcus Howard's in the backfield. There is a penalty flag.
Procedure. Calgary number 62. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down. 1st down.
1st and an area code now. Procedure against the Stampeders.
That's on the right tackle. Stanley Bryant, watch the right foot as he goes to get into that pass pro stance. Trying to get a jump on the defensive end to that side, Julius Williams.
Well, it will be 1st down now. Time to stretch this field. But Burris calls his own number. And a loose ball. LaMarcus Coker picked it up, but had nowhere really to run as Weldon Brown was there. So now an obvious passing down coming after an 8-yard pickup. And 2nd and long now for the Stampeders as the clock ticks down within 3 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
Well, with that run game, this is something the Stampeders have generally done well up to this point. We'll see exactly where that ball popped out. Henry Burris double clutched that football, but it didn't really lose possession until he hit the ground.
Well, the Eskimo defense has been suffocating in this ball game. Crowd back into it again. The 4-man rush. Burris to the sideline for Johnny Forzani, but that yardstick is the initial 1st down marker, so well short. 7-yard pickup for Forzani, and Rene Paredes is going to come out again, try to put 3 more on the board. The story Rene Paredes has been this season. Considering the injury to Rob Maver, Paredes takes the job, went to Winnipeg's training camp, was out of work, got called by Calgary and got the job, and has made it from 52 here today.
Yeah, another example of a young guy taking advantage of an opportunity, undrafted, out of Concordia.
42-yarder. Easy for him from there. Big leg again from Rene Paredes, Venezuelan-born kicker out of Concordia, as Dwayne mentioned. First year with the Stampeders, and cuts into this lead. It's 26-15 now, a minute 45 to go in the third quarter. And again, Paredes won't have that advantage heading into the fourth quarter because the wind is again picking up here, and he'll be kicking into it.
Oh, exactly. For the Stampeders in general, Rod. I mean, Rene Paredes is the only guy who's really benefited from that wind offensively. They haven't been able to make up any ground on the Eskimos in terms of getting down the field and getting into the end zone.
Edmonton Eskimo team began the season undefeated 5-0, then 2-6 midstream, finishing off 4-1. Complete turnaround for this team this year. 7-11 last year, 11-7 this season. Jerome Messam slipped up, and the ball is loose. Whistles are blowing. Stampeders finish off the play, but it's not going to matter. The play was dead, whistle dead. Messam was down.
Jerome Messam clearly down on the play, down near the bottom of your screen. He's wrapped up with Charleston Hughes. There he's down, and there the ball's out.
Lost his hand warmer on the play. And there's the guy who's been the orchestrator. His comeback season for the Eskimos, Kavis Reed. Ray the Reed, Jerome Messam. Meet Demetris Morley.
Well, we've seen Morley lower the boom a couple of times this year, and that time he caught Jerome Messam with his head turned. Caught him down low.
He hobbles to the sideline. Jerome Messam, already bothered by a lower body injury this week.
Messam barely with time to get his head around on that one. It looked like his left knee might have been buckled in a little bit here as well.
That's one thing Demetris Morley has brought to the Stampeders this year.
An eye on
Ability
the
to do
left
that.
knee.
Ooh. Yikes. Hard hitting Demetris Morley out of Miami, Florida, University of Tennessee. And now the ball bouncing back. Larry Taylor will induce a no yards call. Taylor Inglis, long snapper downfield. It will be no yards on the play. On the final play of the third quarter. There is a penalty on the play. Point game.
No yards interference. Edmonton number 52. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And the additional interference call as part of that penalty is because he prevented Larry Taylor from actually fielding the football.
That is the end of three quarters here in the West Division semifinal. Edmonton Eskimos undefeated when leading after 3 this season.